Okay, we started the recording. February 22nd, 2025. What's the weather in Florida? Gee, 64 degrees. It's not as high humidity out there, and it's kind of nice this morning. Kathleen, it's lovely here this morning. Anyway, oh yes.
Bill, I
The,
have
mo-
a question actually. I was trying to get on Stug and find their monthly things, and the Stug that I'm going to keeps coming up in December.
the monitor, you're trying to go to the website?
Yes, the website, and it keeps coming up in December. So I don't
Or,
know if I'm just in the
y-
wrong place or
yeah,
it ha-
did you type in thestug.org?
I think so. I'll
Okay.
try again. I'll be back.
All right.
Okay.
Mom test. This is from a perspective of a mom. She says, I was out walking with my 5-year-old daughter. My daughter picked up something off the ground and started to put it in her mouth. I took the thing away from her and asked her not to do that. Why? She asked. Because it's been on the ground and you don't know where it has been. It's dirty and it could probably contain germs. At this point, my daughter looked at me with absolute admiration and asked, Mom, how do you know all this stuff? You are really smart. I thought quickly and replied, all moms know this stuff. It's on the mom test. You have to know it, and they don't let you be a mom without passing the test. We walked along in silence 2 or 3 minutes, but she was evidently pondering this new information. Oh, I get it, my daughter said. So if you don't pass the test, you have to be a dad. Exactly, I said.
That's pretty good.
All right. Last time we talked about. I want to cover it now. I'm going to be covering all kinds of tips today. Last time we talked about the first. It was the first session for the Apple Watch. And what I'd like to do is do a little review of what we covered last time, quickly go through some of the things we covered, and then we'll move on to many of the, or I'm going to say, as many of the applications as we can fit in the time allotted that I use frequently on my watch. Okay. I have the left screen there is my iPhone. The right screen is going to be my watch. So when I put my watch under camera, I can do some stuff with it, show you how that works. And I'm going to bring up the settings on my iPhone for the Apple Watch. And that's not the settings normally you tap, which would be this guy. It's this guy here is the settings for the watch. And as I mentioned last time, if you're going to work with the watch settings, I do most of it on the iPhone. It's just bigger and easier to deal with. Okay. So we covered a bunch of stuff last time. We covered the parts of the watch, right? This is called the crown, side button. Some people call it the power button, but it's a side button. There's a bunch of sensors on it. We'll talk about those in a minute, right? The screen is pressure sensitive. So if you tap it, it does one thing. If you press and hold it or touch it, it does others, right? The band slides in and out by pushing a button on the back. Your watch has many sensors on it. It can sense your heart rate. It has an accelerometer on it, so it knows how fast and what it's moving, what motion it has a gyroscope on it. It has a barometric pressure sensor on there. And it's an ambient light sensor, so it knows if it's dark or light. It has a temperature sensor, so it knows its temperature. It uses a light sensor on the back of your watch for the heart rate, right? What they haven't developed yet, and I don't know if they ever will, is I'm sorry, a blood oxygen level for the watch.
They have oxygen. It's the blood pressure they don't have.
I'm sorry, it's yes, you have, thank you. You don't have blood pressure. Thank you. Okay. Again, I'll repeat that since I screwed that up. It has a, it does sense blood oxygen level. It does not sense blood pressure. We have buttons on the watch. You have the digital crown. It spins and it can be pressed. And we have the side button. The newer watches have a button on the other side as well. Not going to get into those. The newest watch, I should say. Okay, if you press to see the watch faces or the home screen. So when you're somewhere on your watch and you press the button, it'll take you back to the home screen. If you press it 2 times, you get a list of apps that you've recently used. So get it in here. I pressed it twice, and here's the apps I have recently used. If you get it, press it once, you get a list of all the applications you have. And you can spin the crown to go through them, or you can press the crown up and down to go through them. I prefer to spin the crown because it's just much quicker. If you press and hold it, set timer for 5 minutes. Okay, now I have 5 minutes. Counting down. Could you hear that? Just say no or yes, somebody.
Yes.
You heard it say,
Sorry, I don't understand.
yeah, okay, somebody got it. Right? Okay, so it's going to count down, right? And there's a little button on there. We'll talk about the water resistance in a minute. The side button, on the other hand, you press it once to get to the control center, and then you press it again to make it go away. If you press and hold the side button, it comes up with a couple of things. One, your emergency contact, and you can dial SOS there, right? You can look at your medical ID. And up here, it's power button. So you can touch that button up at the top there, and you can power off your watch. If you double tap and you have your credit cards on your watch, you double tap and it comes up with your credit card. If you have multiple ones, it will come up with multiple credit cards.
Bill, I just see a piece of paper with text. I don't, if you're showing your watch, I don't see it. And I'm not sure which button you're talking about.
Anybody else having a problem seeing what I'm doing?
Yes.
Yes, it's just the paper, the article.
Yeah, we lost the watch.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. There you go.
Oh, okay. Start over again.
Okay. So here's the power button, right? Hit it once, you get that. Press and hold it. You get the emergency contact, SOS. And up here is the power button, if you power off button. So if you tap that little guy up there at the top, this guy, right? If I double tap, if I go one tap, I get the control center. If I tap twice, I get the credit cards. Okay. And the crown, if you press once, you get a list of the apps.
Bill, back when you were on the emergency thing, you don't, there's not a chance you can accidentally do something that calls emergency when you don't want it? I mean, how do you not
Not in
call?
this case. It will. Here, I'll show you.
Okay.
If you tap SOS emergency call,
Okay. And isn't there, sometimes I've clapped my phone in something that's supposed to hold it for a tripod, and somehow it's clapped on one side and the other, and it calls emergency. And I don't
if
want it to do
if
that.
you bang, if your watch senses you're fallen or in a crash in an automobile, it will say, I think you're in a crash or I think you've fallen. If you don't turn me off, I'll call 911.
Okay. All right.
So if I've done it with a hammer, I've pounded with a hammer, and all of a sudden it says I've fallen, and I got to turn it off. Okay. Good point, though, to bring that up.
It's
Okay.
sort of like my iPhone. If I don't do something quick, it'll call for help.
Yep. Yeah. On that one, if you want emergency SOS, it does a little countdown on it. It says, I'm going to call them. I'm going to call them. If you look at this side of your watch, between the side button and the crown, there's a little hole, and that's the microphone. So if you, whoops, there's my timer going off. If you, that little hole, if you cover it up, people won't be able to hear you, or your watch won't be able to hear you. Let's put it that way. And on the other side, there's a couple of slits, and that's where the uh, sound is emanating from.
Bill, could you do the timer again because the paper was up and I didn't see the timer?
Oh, I just said set timer for 30 seconds.
Oh, I see. You're Siri.
I did with Siri. Yeah. You can do it another way, but I like using Siri. It makes it nice and easy.
Okay, thanks.
And when it comes up, I have to turn it off. If you turn your phone over or watch over, and let me do that. I got to turn it off now. Here's what it looks like when it's going off, the alarm. And I hope to be able to tap that button and make it stop. There I did. Okay. On the back, there's a couple of buttons right here and right here. You press them to slide the band in and out. And here's where all the sensors are in the back. There's actually text. There's actually text around the outside of the little plate that's there. And that tells you the model phone you have. But you need a most of us need a magnifying glass and have to clean the back of our watch to see it. You can just see it if I get the right light right. You can see some text in there. Okay. On one side, if you slide the slider out, there'll be a port that Apple can plug into to service your watch. On the other side of the band, and you slide it out, there's a little hole, and that's for barometric pressure. It enables them to capture the barometric pressure.
Why do you have to enter a passcode for your watch?
Why? Who's asking that question?
Kathleen here.
Um, why do I enter a path? Why do I have to?
I mean, how does it come up? I've never seen that before. Password on my watch.
You haven't set it up.
Okay,
You have to
that
set up
explains
a
it.
password.
All right.
Wait till I get it out of the way here so you don't get my password. So it does come up. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Thanks.
You go to settings. I think it may be password by itself. When I get to settings, I'll cover that. Okay. Um,
Isn't the only reason you really need a password on your watch if you have a credit card stored?
all your contacts are there. For example, all your emails there. All your messages are there.
Isn't that
Yeah.
only if you pay extra for something?
Say that again. Isn't it only if you pay? No.
Extra that you have to get internet on your watch or something like
Oh,
that?
no. You have all those features on there. What you don't have on your Apple Watch is the capability to make a phone call if you don't have your phone around.
But everything else is there. I mean,
Everything else is there.
oh wow. How do I know everything is there? I mean, where do I look?
Well, if I go to, for example, I may go to the Mail app.
Okay.
Oop. Okay,
Okay, thank you.
come
I will
on.
look again.
It'll show up here. Gmail. There we go. Here's all my mail. And I can read my mail. I could go to messages. And here's all my messages. So yeah, all your information there. I can go to my contacts. All your contacts will list on your watch.
And all of this is available, and the part that you pay extra for is enables you to make a call on it. Is that correct?
Say again, please.
All of these things are available on your watch, without paying extra.
Yes, yes.
Wow. Okay. Thank you.
I said the only thing that you pay extra if you wanted to is to be able to make a phone call without your phone around. In other words,
Okay.
your capability to get to connect to the cell phone towers, in which case you would pay an additional fee. In addition to costing the watch costing more, you have to pay an additional monthly fee to your service provider.
Okay. And
Bill, can you connect notes to the phone, to the watch?
Sure, I have my notes on here. Again, I'll go to my list of apps, and notes is down here somewhere. There's where's notes? I should have them there. Hey, Peter, was that a trick question? You know you can't get notes there?
I couldn't find it on mine, so that's why I asked. I thought it would be handy to have, but
I do too. Where is it? Let me see if I can get it there. Geez, it doesn't look like you can do that. That surprises me, obviously. Nope. Somebody should check that on Google right now and see if you can get notes. Let me.
you're looking at all of these installs. They're on your watch as well, so you can find out what's available to install.
Yeah,
Wow.
I'll show you that in a minute.
Okay.
Yes, you can put notes on the Apple Watch, including the Notes app. It says you can. I don't see how,
maybe you should rephrase the question to how can you put notes on?
though. Thank you.
Bill, I
Says you,
just put what Perplexity told me about putting notes on your Apple Watch in the chat. So,
it says you can, right?
yes, it gives you different ways. It said third-party apps, drafts, Siri shortcuts. I don't know. I don't know what
Yeah.
they're talking about, but you would, I'm sure.
Oh, it's there. It's there.
Oh, okay. Huh.
No, that's notes, not notes.
I went to the App Store, and there's an app that you download for Apple Notes.
It's the same app you have on your
Yeah.
phone. It
Well, I don't know that.
has to be.
You can't do Gmail on your Apple Watch either.
Well, I do. I get my Gmail, but I by using the Apple Mail app. In other words, I use the Apple Mail app on my phone, and I add the Gmail account to that mail application. Did it make sense?
Yes, but I don't, when I click on the Outlook on my phone, on my watch, it doesn't give me the option to see the other counts.
I understand. If you add it to the, well, let's do two things. One, how do you add additional apps to your phone since we brought that one up? If you tap the watch app on your phone, which I'm doing, and it comes up, looks like this. And if you scroll down, it tells you a list of apps that are on your device. And these apps are all on my device. And Notes is not there, right?
Bill, I looked up another thing on the AI and it says, since there are no native Notes app for the Apple Watch, you could use third-party apps to achieve similar functionality. And
Right.
they show how to install it. So anyway, this is what AI says. Who knows what it
No,
is?
no, I was finding that myself as
Okay,
well.
all right.
And down here are the additional apps that I have put on my watch. So I put a lot of apps on my watch. And then there is another list that says these are the ones that are available that I could put on my watch. Now, you'll notice I have a lot of apps. So you're not going to have this extensive, you may, but you most likely will not have this extensive of a list. And the reason I was curious is Notes is not mentioned here. In the ones that I could install, they're in alphabetical order, nor is it in the ones that can install, and it's not in the list of ones that show up there automatically. That I don't know if I can take them out or not. No, I can't remove these. Okay, everybody see that? Wow, Peter, thanks for pointing that out to me. That one surprises me.
I just did a perplexity inquiry, and it says you can do it. It's already installed, it says.
No, it's not.
Come on, perplexity.
I understand, but be sure add the word Apple Notes app. Can I put the Apple Notes app on my
Did.
watch? You have Apple Notes?
That was the phrase. How do I install Apple Notes app on my Apple phone?
How do you do it?
It says, check the app is already installed. Swipe down the middle of the bar to home screen to find out if Notes appears. If it isn't, install it. Delete existing installation if necessary.
Okay, you can send a note to Perplexity.
Good luck.
They need to get their AI informed.
Peter, I had two different answers from Perplexity that I put in the chat. So we now have
Yeah.
three different answers to Perplexity. Mm.
Democracy is wonderful.
What is perplexity?
Artificial intelligence. Many people recommend Perplexity as that they prefer this particular artificial intelligence. The
Yeah,
whole,
it's another AI tool. Google has one.
Mm.
What's it called? Google has one. I've forgotten what it's called. Microsoft has one called Copilot. Um, and Perplexity is a standalone one that's quite good. Gives you really good answers.
is there
Do you
something?
install it from the App Store?
Say again?
Do you install it from the App Store?
Oh, I got it on my computer. I assume you can get it on the I assume you can get it on the App Store.
That's where I got it.
5 or 6 different AIs. Totally, I find AI totally confusing. So, anyway.
Well, if you're using Perplexity, you're using AI.
No, I know that, but I just the whole thing when they talk about AI and all the
I
different
understand.
kinds of AI,
Most
Chat
people,
GPT, and all of that stuff. I think okay, and there are some that I have not heard of. Genesis, no. Anyway, maybe
most
you can
people
cover a
have a
maybe you can cover AI at some point.
most people have a deer in the headlights look when you say, "How's it work?"
Yes, and yes.
It's a two-step process. Just a brief explanation. It's a two-step process. Step one is they're creating the answer to all possible questions in the world, creating them. Okay, and that's the creation portion. Now you're saying, well, they can't possibly do that. Well, they're gathering all the data and and it's it's trying to do that continually. And then when you ask it a question, it goes to that database it created and finds the answer. So that, in a nutshell, is how it works. Two-step process. All right.
So what is the AI companion that I see in the bottom line of my computer?
That's one that generates the answer.
Okay.
It's not
Um,
the one that I'm sorry, that's the one that gives you the answer. It's not the one that's creating the answers to all permutations of questions.
okay. Massively confusing. Thank you.
They have these AI farms that have thousands and thousands of computers in the farm. It's a data center, right? And it's using gigahertz of or what's lots of power to run these, and they're basically spending a lot of their time generating the possible answers to questions. All right.
One book lecture that I was at, they say that they would run out of power for everything in 2028.
That's right.
Yeah, this is by, I don't know, somebody in technology, some famous person.
Okay. A couple more things I wanted to review. Just a minute. Apple Watch and water resistance, right? There is a feature on your watch that basically, if it gets water in the holes, it blows the water out of the holes. And if you're going to take your watch in the swimming pool or in the shower, etc., it's okay. And what you do when you're done with your shower is you hit this little, see the little thing I'm circling right now on the screen? It's a teardrop in the control center. Now, what you can do is prepare your watch for this by hitting the teardrop to start with. So I'm gonna get the control center, and I get the control center by pressing the side button once, and there's the teardrop, and I tap it. So now my watch is prepared for, you don't have to do this, but it's a good idea to do it. So now it's prepared for me diving in the pool or taking a shower, etc., with my watch on. And again, I go to the control center, and first of all, if you have a leather band, don't wear it in the pool. Most of the other bands are fine, but the leather ones will deteriorate. Now I'm going to press the control center because I already pressed it once and hit the teardrop. And it comes up when I press it the second time, and it says press to push out the water. And I tap it. Ah, come on. Oh, press and hold the crown. Can you hear that low pitched voice, its tone? Let me get it again. I hit the teardrop. Then I press and hold, I press the crown. Did you hear that?
Yes.
Yes.
And you can do that yourselves, right? Go ahead, go to the control center, hit the teardrop. And then when you're done with your shower, bath, pool, whatever, rain, you press it again. You press the crown now, and you get the teardrop exploding on the screen. And it's a low pitched sound that forces the water out. A couple things on the control center. Tells me how much battery life you have left. One of the cool features of the control center is this little one. And what happens if I press this little button there? If I press the little button, it makes a sound on my phone. And so if the phone is within Bluetooth range of your watch, your phone will start beeping. And I don't know how many times I've used that to find my phone in my house somewhere. It says I'm
There's
on
also
Wi-Fi.
an
Go
app
ahead.
for that.
There's an app for that as well. Okay. But it's right here. Yeah. We'll get to that one in a minute. Yeah. That's a different one. Okay. You'll notice I'm on Wi-Fi and cellular. There's some symbols up here. See the two symbols? If I tap that upper portion, it says my iPhone is connected and accessibility, right, is set. Okay. If I,
If which of those do you want to increase, like reduce or transparency, increase contrast? I mean, what's better to read?
well, it's up to you. It's in settings,
Mhm.
accessibility. So if you go to your watch or your phone and you go to accessibility, you can set those things.
Okay, thank you.
I wonder what happens if I turn them all off. That symbol should go away, shouldn't it? It changed. Increase. Oh, it tells me what to do.
Does the flashlight symbol do anything if you on your watch? I mean, what does it
Have you
do?
tried it? You should try it.
Oh, I see. Wow. It is,
Oh, and you
it
can
is
spin the
very,
crown to change the color, make it brighter or darker.
wow. Okay. No idea. Thank you.
Uh-oh.
Just testing.
You have to make an adjustment here. Hold on. You can get it to be a red light as well. There, flashing light. The question is, how do you turn it off? You can change the size of your text, and you can also change the volume. And you'll notice I changed the volume, and then I spin the crown. I hit the volume, then I hit the crown, spin the crown to change the level. Do the same thing with the crown and the size of the text. Okay. If you have multiple members in your family and you're in a mall somewhere and you want quick contact, you can use the walkie-talkie feature. Since I don't have another person around me, I can't demonstrate that very well. But it's relatively straightforward. You just have two of you together, both of you tap the walkie-talkie and follow the directions. Okay. If I look at some of the other settings, if I switch over here to my iPhone with the watch settings, emergency SOS, right? I tap that, and it tells you how to hold the button to get it. There's passcode, and you can put in a passcode, turn on passcode. You can put your passcode in or change it here. Siri is set up. Right?
Sorry, I don't understand. Okay.
All right. If I don't want Siri to work by saying Siri, I do that. I turn it off. In general, you can change the watch orientation on your wrist. There's a cool feature, I think it's accessibility, where I can put my hand, oh, maybe it's under sounds and haptics. No, I can put my hand if your phone is ringing and you want it to stop, you cup your hand over your watch and the sounds will stop. Okay.
If your phone is ringing, can you put your hand over the watch or only, how does that
It'll
work?
stop. It'll stop.
All right.
Which is a cool feature. It's an embarrassing situation.
Even though I had turned off my phone, it rang and I couldn't figure out why. And would it have stopped if I put my hand over my watch?
There's several features on the phone silencing,
Right.
and one of them is you can silence all calls or silence calls that are not in your contact list, for example.
Uh-huh.
And that may be someone was calling you who's in your contact list, and that's why it was ringing.
And where do you go to silence them?
That's on your phone
Okay.
in settings.
All right. Thank you.
It's under.
And I thought if you just turned off the one thing on your phone and it was red, that
Yeah.
it wouldn't ring, and it did.
Where
Loud.
is that?
2, 6.
I don't see it right now. I've forgotten where it is on the phone. But there is a feature to do that. Mm,
It did something. There was all that sound, and I have no idea what it was.
Anyway, I'm not going to be able to tell you that right now unless somebody wants to look it up. Um, Let me switch gears now, I think. Anybody have a situation they'd like to ask a question about on your phone, except for the sound thing that was just asked? If your Apple Watch isn't making any sound, it's likely because its silent mode is turned on. Do not disturb is activated, the volume is too low, or there might be a problem with the speaker itself. Right? So if it is making sound and you think it shouldn't be, check the silent mode by going to the control center. And I'll do that on my watch here. Go to the control center. And you can put it in theater mode, right? And that silences your phone or your watch in
Put
this
it in
case.
what kind of mode? What kind of mode do you put it in?
See where the two faces are and this.
I'm actually on my phone because
Oh, now go to your watch control center
okay, well, controls.
and you press it.
Oh, wait a minute, I'm in the wrong place.
You can also press do not disturb. Which is the moon. So if you're not getting sound, make sure these are all off. Also adjust the settings and adjust the volume by tapping the speaker here and turn up the volume. Make sure it's not off. Restart your watch would be another reason you may have to do something to make it make sounds that you didn't want or that you wanted and didn't get. Because I think that was a question last time. And then make sure your apps are up to date.
I totally lost you when you said it's like I'd never seen a watch before as you were talking, and that's the problem with my understanding of technology. It's perfectly understandable until 10 minutes later.
Some of us had a problem last time that your phone wasn't making a sound that it should have been. And it was covering some things that may be preventing that. Most of them here in settings. I'm sorry, in the control center. I went to the control center and I scrolled up. Oops, just a minute. And you can tap the half moon, the masks, and the phone, and the bell here. And that should turn off all sounds associated with your watch. Check for software updates on your watch apps just to make sure that's not causing your problem. And then make sure your phone is not mirroring your watch. So on your phone, there's a focus mode. Make sure you're not in focus mode. For example, let me go back there. Right? And here's the do not disturb, right? Where you can control people that can or cannot make contact with you. But if I go back, I'm looking for the one that's mirror. And it's somewhere in here.
Now, how are you getting to all of those settings? I don't know.
Well, I'm on my phone now, and I went
Okay.
to the settings menu for the phone, not the watch. Hmm. I want to switch gears now and go to the various applications that are on your watch. So I'm going to tap the crown. Oops, I want to get back to the watch face. And I'm going to tap the crown once, twice. Come on. You tap the crown once, and you get a list of all your applications. You tap the crown once, and you get a list of all your applications. And the first one I want to talk about is blood oxygen. So if I scroll down here to blood oxygen, and I tap that, and I click start, and it takes 15 seconds. And it gives you your blood oxygen level. It also records that in a table on your watch and your phone, and it shows you a history of the blood oxygen readings. Now, one that I think Sharon asked me about last time how can I make my camera work from my watch? So I set up my phone to take a picture, and it's going to take that stupid picture. Okay. And then I tap on my watch camera remote. So I run around, I get in the picture, I tap camera remote. Come on. Just a minute. I tap camera remote and I actually see the camera on my phone. Now I can tap the three dots there and adjust the time. Okay, I'm going to make it a 3 second delay and I'll determine do I front or rear. Whoops, let me get the, and I determine which camera I want to use. And then I tap done. And then I tap the 3 seconds and it comes up and it takes the picture. It's like I'm taking a video. Was I on video for my camera?
Okay, I have 3 seconds and three dots. Where do I go from there?
Well, what if you have 3 seconds, three dots, you
Mhm.
tap where it says 3 seconds.
If I want it to be more seconds, can I
You,
change that?
you don't have, that's the only choice you have, whether you
Okay,
have the delay or not.
okay, 3 seconds. I tap 3 seconds and then what?
It will take the picture in 3 seconds on your phone.
I'm getting a round thing with a square at the bottom and it's counting seconds up.
That's because you were on video.
Okay. Whoop.
You,
So,
you can stop it.
okay, I have camera remote, but I mean, how do I get it off video?
Well, you were on video on your phone.
Oh,
I had the same problem.
okay. So does that mean first I have to go to my phone and set the camera?
Well, you had to go to your phone to set this up, right? You had to have your phone on a tripod or leaning against something that you wanted to take the picture of. So make sure it's on photo.
Okay, all right. Okay. Take photo, double tap, it comes back to the 3S and the three dots.
I'll just tap it once.
Now I get a little square in the middle.
And it counts down and finishes taking the picture.
It's, I'm getting video again. Okay, thank you. I don't want to take up any more time. This is so confusing.
And make sure it's on photo or portrait. Same thing, right? I've taken a bunch. Okay. I mentioned earlier that you have a app called Contacts on your phone, on your watch. If you go to the Contacts app, you're going to see all your contacts. And if you have a Watch. Let me get this out of the way. I think I have Peter Dobbins on here. Got a lot of bees. I do that. There's Peter, and I think I'm calling Peter Dobbins right now from my watch.
Or William Crow.
Bill always Crow. Good job.
All right. Thank you, Peter. So I
Can you
just
not use Siri to call somebody the same way you can on your phone?
let's try it. Call Sharon Rump. There you are, Sharon. And it's calling you.
Hello, Bill Crow.
Hi, Sharon. Thank you. Okay.
That to me is a lot easier than scrolling down through your contacts.
Especially when you have as many as I do. Yeah, you're right. It is. Siri's quite useful in many occasions. How about Siri do an EKG,
I can't help you.
do an ECG?
I can't help you with that.
Oh, I have to go to the app, huh? Well, actually, I have it as one of the complications on my phone here, so I'll just tap that. Now, if it comes up, I have problems, I may be going to the emergency room.
How do you tell what it means?
He'll tell you in a minute.
Okay.
A friend of mine actually did go to the ER because of that on his phone.
And was there a problem?
Yes, there was, and they
All
fixed
right.
it.
All right. They fixed the phone? No, they fixed him or her. This ECG does not show signs of arterial fibrillation, right? But there's a disclaimer here. Okay. There's an app called Find My Device or Find Devices. And if I tap that, it shows me or gives me indication of where all my devices are. Right? It says my iPhone, my other iPhone, my iPad, my AirPods. All right. And if I go to, let's say, let's say my which I it doesn't matter. If I go to my iPhone, it shows me where it is and allows me to play a sound on it.
Bill, when I tried Find Devices, it told me that I was at a restaurant 2 blocks away.
Was your phone turned off now?
No, it's on. Okay, all right, well. Okay, allow Find Devices to use your location. So what do I do? Just tap that?
Okay, it says my iPhone is right next to me, and I'm going to say play a sound. And it's making a sound on my phone right now.
Hmm.
Thanks. We'll be there soon after 12.
Oh, that wasn't. Oh, Sharon, you're talking to somebody else. That's
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I was muted.
okay. Then there's an app called, let me go back to my apps here. There's an app called Heart Rate. Oops. And it's measuring my beats per minute. Oh, getting up there. Now I can, oftentimes when you have these apps that you open, you can twist the crown to get different, right? Measurements to come up. In this case, it's giving me my current rate, my range, my resting rate, and my walking average just by spinning the crown.
I don't see your watch. I just see your hands.
Oh, thank you.
So
Spinning the crown gives me my different. Okay. A really interesting app that I have is I Translate. Hola. I translate. And I hit the microphone there. That's a little too bright, so I got to back it off a little bit.
I
You can't see
translated
it.
something. You had to
It's
add you had to add I translate, or does it come with the watch?
I had to add it,
Okay.
but I'm going to click this button, and I can say either language. Get the hola. Hola. Come on, you're supposed to translate to English. I think I messed it up when I got it there. Hello, how are you today? Hola. Should come back and say hello. Yeah.
How many languages are available?
Quite a few.
And the iTranslate is in the App Store
Yes, it is.
with instructions on how to work it?
No, you get it and you try it.
Okay, thanks.
None of them have instructions any longer, right? There's one there called just press to record. So if you want to record a conversation you're having with someone, you press it, press the button, and now it's recording what I'm saying. And as long as I'm talking and the scroll is running there, I'm recording it. I tap it to stop. I spin the crown, and there's a conversation there. And I can play it by tapping it. Now it's recording what I'm saying. And as long as I'm talking and the scroll is running there, I'm recording it. Okay? I want to check something here. We have an app called Map My Walk or Map My Run. See the little guy right here? If I tap that and then I put what kind of activity I'm doing, let's say I'm doing an outdoor walk, I tap it. It gives me 3 seconds and then it starts recording what I'm doing. And when I'm done, I tap the screen. Come on. Oh, I think I slide it sideways here. There you go. And I tap end. So now it's recorded that walk, and I can go to my app and see what the walk looks like. And I can actually play music while I'm doing it if I wanted to. Okay. Not sure what music is going to play. Oh, wants to connect to my earbuds as well. We've already covered. I can check my mail. There's map my walk. If I actually take a walk, it would actually map it for me.
Is it the same thing as workout on the bottom of the list, more
I
or less?
I think it's yeah, more or less, yes. And I've got it running right now. So I got to stop that guy. There's an app called Photos, and what it is your favorite photos. Oop. So it contains all your favorite photos. You can see them here.
Is this something you set up or is it already on your watch?
It will be on your watch, but you have to set it up. You go to your watch settings on your device, and you scroll down to Photos, and you say Sync Photos, and it syncs the photos that are in your favorites for your photos. Now, the next question is obviously there, right? It's favorites or some other album. So if you go to photos in the Apple Watch settings on your phone.
Does it do like 10,000 or 15,000 photos?
No, it will only take 250 photos
Thank you.
or less. Well, I guess it goes to 500. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
The key here is it syncs with an album that you have on your device. So if you look at mine there, my phone right now, it says I'm syncing with the favorites photos, whatever photos are in my favorites album. I could have selected any other album there and have it sync with that one instead for a maximum of 500 pictures. All right. Just a minute, I want to check something.
Translation.
There are several different translates app, and what I was doing was finding the one that Apple provides. It looks like this.
Can't see.
All right. They all look different. And there it is on my device right here. And the reason I wanted to mention that one, it's the black background. There's a blue background one. There's a black background with an A and a unusual character, an Oriental character. If you tap that, you can set the languages. And if you tap the speaker, English to, I'm translating English to French or German, Spanish, right? So I tap English to whatever other language.
Speaker English 2.
So I tap English down here. Well, come on. Tap the microphone. Hello, my name is Bill. All right. If I tap Spanish, come on. I tap the microphone. I want to go the other way. I can't go the other way. There we go. Now I'm going, hola. One of the apps I have, it figures out the language you're speaking and translates it to English. So I could use either way. This one isn't quite as nice there. I thought this was the one, but it's not. Okay. So now I'm going English to Spanish. If I tap those little arrows, it goes Spanish to English.
Okay, I have that when I go to the App Store, it shows that I can open it, which means it should be on my phone, but it will not show up on my watch.
Did you? Okay. If you go to the watch settings on your phone and you scroll down, you should be able to find that app down here somewhere and install it.
No,
See, I have Translate Now. You can see Translate Now there. And then I have iTranslate up here as a different one.
no, we're talking about the settings in the watch application, correct?
Um, okay, let me go back. I'm tapping on this guy on my phone.
Yes, that's what I tapped on, and it's not on the
Hold on, hold
app.
on. Now, do you have it loaded on your phone? Have you downloaded the app you're talking about to your phone?
Well, when I go to the App Store, it says open, and that should mean it's downloaded.
That's correct. So it is on your phone. What's the name of it?
It's translate with the black background, and it's got A and then a Chinese character.
Yep. And it should be now go to your phone's settings. I'm sorry, go to your watch's settings on your phone.
You're talking about the little watch thing that you had on the bottom of yours?
Yeah. The one right here.
I don't see your.
Yes. You don't see that app?
Oh, yes, that's the one I'm in.
Okay, tap it. Now scroll down. There's several different things going on there, right? There's the apps that are normally on your device. There's the ones you've added. If you scroll down far enough, you got to keep going. It should say
No,
available. It should say available apps.
it's not available.
Doesn't show up there under the T for translate.
No,
I don't know why then, because I think I have that one up here. Where is the black one?
well, the one with the black background is the one you said to install.
Right, that's the one I was using.
Well, it's not anywhere on my Apple Watch settings. It's on my phone, but not on my watch. Not available.
Oh, yeah. Because I don't see it on the list here either. And I have it on my phone. Oh, it's the blue background one. I'm sorry. Black background, and it's called Translate, and you do not have it on your phone.
It is the black background.
That's the one.
Yeah, not blue, black.
Correct.
Yes, and it's on my phone and it will not come up on my watch.
Hmm. When did you load it?
I don't remember, so I must have loaded it when we were having a class, way
Some
back.
time ago. Some time ago. I guess I would delete it and add it again. See if that works.
Okay, well,
That's the only one I have. All right. Wallet. If you don't have your wallet on the phone, I really recommend you put it there just because of the convenience factor. If I forget my wallet, if I forget my phone and my wrist is with me and my watch is on it, I have my wallet that I can pay. And that's happened to me once or twice. And the way you get it there is first of all, you have to put it on your phone. And you go to wallet on your phone. And you'll see I have 3 credit cards there. And I hit the plus sign to put a new card there. And when you hit the plus sign, it brings up the camera. I want to a credit debit card. Continue. And it brings up the camera and you put your credit card right over the card. I said, you put your camera right over the credit card and it takes a picture of it, puts all the numbers in automatically, etc. I think it wants both sides. Now, once you have done that, then you go to your phone app and you make sure Wallet is installed on your phone. I'm sorry. You go to your watch app. I'm sorry. You go to your watch app and make sure the app is Wallet and Apple Pay, right? And I could add, and then you tap that in settings, and you can add one or all of those credit cards to your Apple Watch. And you'll notice I have 2 of them there on my watch, and I could put a third one there. Okay. And last but not least is weather. Now, there are a bunch of weather apps, and I'm not even sure which one I have on my phone. So I'll go to it and show you what mine looks like. I actually have 2 of them there. And I'll hit the cloud one. Whoops, back. I'll hit the weather. Okay. And I got all kinds of different things I can have on it. If I spin the crown, it's 70 degrees right now. If I hit the dots there, I can look at different cities I have added, and I can actually add another one right there. That's Saratoga, California. Fort Worth, Texas, Berlin, PA, Seoul, Korea, Underhill, Senta, Sarasota. Two different temperatures depending on which, right? So I have 68 degrees somewhere else and 70 degrees, I think, where I am. So that's a sampling of the apps that I have on my device. And you'll notice I don't use them that often, therefore I don't get um, I'm not as proficient at them, but try them. Put them on your device and don't be afraid. You're not going to mess them up. Play with them a little bit, see what it does. Use my expression, poke and hope, right? And see how they operate. One other thing, when I go to the control center, you'll notice at the top there are some icons. If you tap that, it'll say my iPhone's connected. I'm in low power mode right now because my watch is running out of power. And accessibility, reduced strength is what the things we looked up there. And accessibility is how that is set up. And all these different symbols up here at the top that appear, what I want to do is show you one of the things that I sent you the information on that you can actually print out is, which one is it? Hold on. Right? What's the red dot mean? What's the lightning bolt mean? Different colors. Lock icon. So here they all are and what they mean. All right. I recommend at least you download that to your computer or your iPad and look at it so that you can. Right now, I have a yellow dot on my watch. It says low power mode. Okay. Any questions?
Where can we download the information you just,
I sent you a when I sent you the video from last week.
oh,
Along with
okay.
that was a link to my Google Drive that has all this information on it,
Oh, thank
and
you.
I'll show you that here.
That's fine. Wait a second.
Bill,
Yes.
Sally, I'd like to know how we clean the back of our watch. Because your skin kind of gets around that circle.
Doesn't it? um,
Alcohol?
yeah, use a Q-tip and some alcohol.
Okay,
Don't drench it in it. Just dampen the Q-tip and work on it.
All right.
My second question, the first thing I sent in the chat was the page that I get with Stug, unless I'm going to the wrong page. But it has December in it.
Okay, I'm going to go there just a minute. Here's the, let me give you what I sent you. I sent you this information, all this.
Oh, terrific. Okay, I'll go back
Many,
and look.
many of the things there are in two formats. This
Mhm.
is a complete guide to Apple Health application in Word, and this one is the complete guide of Apple Health application in PDF form. Here's the holes,
Okay,
right? And
I will
status
go,
icons.
I'll
That's
go
the one
back
I
and look
just
for it.
showed you. Yep,
Thank you. I'll go back and look for it.
yep. So here's the stud.org,
Mhm.
and this is the entry page.
Hmm.
And you need to tap, and you could be at some other place here. Okay, you
Okay.
could be at meetings or something like that. And you need to tap main
Uh-huh.
to get to the front page.
Okay. Mhm. I'll try again. I must somehow or another been in the wrong place.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, okay. This one. Once there was a little boy who lived in the country. He had he had to use an outhouse, and the little boy hated it because it was hot in the summer, cold in the winter, stunk like all get out. The outhouse was sitting on a bank of a creek, and the boy was determined that one day he would push it out, the outhouse, into the creek. So one day, after a spring rain, the creek was swollen. So the little boy decided today was the day to push the outhouse into the creek. So he got a large stick and started pushing. Finally, the outhouse toppled into the creek and floated away. That night, his dad told him, "We're going to the woodshed after supper." Knowing that that meant a spanking, the little boy asked, "Why?" The dad replied, "Someone pushed the outhouse into the creek." "It was you, wasn't it, son?" The boy answered, "Yes." Then he thought for a moment and said, "Dad, I read in school today that George Washington chopped down a cherry tree and didn't get in trouble because he told the truth." The dad replied, "Well, son, George Washington's father was not in the cherry tree."
Good.
All right, everybody. Next week is widgets. We're going to talk about widgets. All right.
Thank you, Bill. Good job.
And Sharon, what are you knitting? What are you knitting?
An American flag.
No kidding. Can I see
Yeah.
what you've done so far? Wow. Wow. So you're working up to the stars and stripes, those stars.
That's very nice. The very even
You
stitches.
just
What do
went
you?
on you just went on mute, Sharon.
The stars you put on later, and I'm
Okay. Yep.
crocheting, not knitting.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Easy pattern.
And what are you
Oh,
going
yeah.
to do for it? Is it a cover, blanket? Oh, you're off. Oh, you're on mute again.
Muted again. You muted again.
It's a gift for my son who was in the Navy.
Fantastic.
Perfect.
He retired?
No, he did his 6 years, but he's very patriotic. My other son was Air Force retired 23 years.
All
Yeah.
right.
Wonderful crocheting. The
You're always
stitches
going to
are
have to
so
make one for your other son as well.
Possibly. And then I have a daughter and son-in-law who are both in the Navy.
Okay.
So I'll be crocheting for a long time.
Did you hear about the lady who was in the car driving down the road? She was speeding, but she was also knitting. And the cop pulls her over and he pulls up beside, walks out, get her to stop finally. And he walks to the car beside her and says, "What did he say?" He said, no, he was driving up beside her, rolled down the window and said, "Pull over." She said, "No, it's a scarf."
That's funny. I'll have to remember that one.
Okay. Have a good day, everybody.
Thank you, Bill. Good job.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye bye.